A lot of people don't know how much SpaceX will save by reusing its rockets and the massive impact this will have on space exploration. Most of us are familiar with SpaceX's amazing ability to land and reuse its Falcon 9 rockets, but you see, the real question is, how much does SpaceX actually save every time it brings one of these boosters back and sends it up again? To understand this, we need to break down the economics of reusing rockets and how it's reshaping the future of space travel. But before we begin, every time I see a new subscription, I always feel so happy, so feel free to hit that sub button to help us get to 11K subs. The idea of rocket reusability is at the core of SpaceX's plan to make space travel more affordable. Traditionally, which is like a few years ago, rockets were single-use. They would launch, deliver their payload, and then be discarded and never to be used again, which is more like flying a brand new airplane to your destination and throwing it away after just one trip. But SpaceX, which you all know is led by Elon Musk, has been revolutionizing this concept and aiming to bring rockets back, refurbish them, and reuse them over and over again, which in theory it should drastically cut costs. But does it work in practice? Let's find out. Let's start with the Falcon 9, which is SpaceX's workhorse rocket. It is designed to be reusable with the first stage, or the booster, which is the primary part of the rocket that returns to Earth after delivering its payload. According to Elon Musk, and not according to me, the first stage accounts for about 60% to 75% of the total cost of the rocket, which, if we consider that a brand new Falcon 9 launch that costs around $62 million, that means the first stage booster is worth somewhere between $37 million to $45 million. So when SpaceX successfully lands a Falcon 9 booster and reuses it, the company saves a significant chunk of that $62 million. But again, reusing the booster comes with its own set of costs, such as refurbishment and recovery. The good thing is SpaceX has done a great job of bringing these costs down over time, and Elon Musk has mentioned that the refurbishment costs are less than 10% of the booster's original cost, which by rough calculation, it means if the booster costs $37 million, then refurbishing it for another flight would be around $3.7 million, which is much cheaper compared to building a new one. From my understanding, a new Falcon 9 launch costs about $62 million, which is a lot of money. But if SpaceX reuses a booster, then it's only looking at around $28 million per flight. This is still a lot, but it's a significant reduction in cost. And the more they reuse the booster, the more they save, which is a good thing. So far, SpaceX has already reused some boosters up to 6 times, with Elon Musk stating that the economics start to make sense after just 2 or 3 flights. But now the question becomes, how many times can a booster be reused? Because there's also wear and tear with each reuse, and I would imagine that the repair cost with each reuse will increase compared to the first reuse. But as of now, Elon Musk has hinted that there might not be a clear limit, and he's thrown out numbers like 100 flights for a single booster being possible with proper refurbishment, which, if that holds, the cost savings could be astronomical in the long run. Every additional flight without needing to build a new rocket allows SpaceX to reinvest that money into other areas, like new technologies or even more ambitious space missions. And now, the Starship system, which includes the Super Heavy booster, has taken this concept even further. We saw the Super Heavy booster being caught by the launch tower's mechanical arms, often referred to as chopsticks. This is a new and daring technique, but again, it's all part of making the entire Starship system fully reusable. And when we say fully reusable in this case, we mean both the first and second stages. Why is this important for space exploration? The thing is, by cutting the costs of launching rockets, SpaceX is making it possible to conduct more frequent and affordable missions. This is critical for the long-term goals of human space exploration, where you can think of like establishing bases on the Moon and Mars. SpaceX's vision involves launching hundreds of Starships, which will be all designed for reusability, in order to build the infrastructure needed for interplanetary travel. Without reusable rockets, you know that this level of ambition would be prohibitively expensive. Elon Musk has often compared reusable rockets to airplanes, where it's like throwing away a brand new plane after using it only for one flight. This would make flying to be very expensive for sure, as the cost of air travel would skyrocket, and very few people would be able to afford it. That's the same logic Musk applies to rockets. If we want to open up space to more exploration, reduce costs, and make it sustainable in the long run, reusing rockets is essential. SpaceX has spent over $1 billion developing its reusable rocket technology, which, to be honest, it's a huge investment, but the potential returns are enormous. By making spaceflight cheaper and more accessible to lots of people, SpaceX is paving the way for a new era of space exploration. This will make the dream of exploring other planets a reality. Reusable rockets will allow SpaceX to send more missions, more frequently and with larger payloads, all while keeping costs down.